Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Mustafa and you are watching my tutorial. In this video we will learn about track by with ng for loop. What is track by? Track by helps Angular to track which item are added or removed. Track by function takes an index and the current item as an argument and needs to return a unique identifier for this item. If you don't understand this definition, don't worry. I will do a practical demo for the same and I will bring you back to this definition to understand it better. Here we go. So if you see in the app.component.ts, in the constructor, I have, list of object. I have created an array, customers array, and in this customers array, I have 4 objects. Straightforward. There is nothing special in that. And here if you see in the app.component.html, in the app.component.html, I have a simple table where I am looping through this customer array and I am displaying the value. So save the changes and flip to browser. Here you can see that we are able to see expected output. Here we have code, name, gender and the annual salary that is coming from this customers array where we have, a list of objects. The moment app.component.ts gets called, by default the constructor will be called, and in this customers array I will have this 4 objects. When we have 4 objects in the array, by default this for each loop will be executed and it will display a value using the interpolation here. And this is what we are able to see on the screen. Let me modify this code a bit and then we will try to understand the problem statement and then we will solve that problem using track by. So let me show you how it is happening. Let me debug this code, come to source and here put a debugger. Refresh this page and you can see that by default the constructor is getting called automatically. When this gets called, I will have objects in the customers array. I modified this code little bit. If you see, I added load more, a method, and in this method, I am using, the same customer array. And if you see up to here, this is the old object. Whatever we had here, I copied the same object. And here I am adding one more object. That is ID 1005. So up to 4, I have the same object, and I am adding one more object here. And you see in the, app.component.html, I added a button. So this button is calling this load more method that is here. That is this one. When I click on this, button, this method will be executed and this object, this whole object will be, returned with this new object. Save the changes and flip to browser. As of now, we have only 4 objects starting from 1, 2, 3 and 4. So by default, this is getting rendered. As of now, this code is not called. This code will only be called when I click on this button. So let me put a debug point in the app.component.ts. When I click on this one, you can see that this method is getting called. Now instead of this 4 object, I will have one more extra object that is this one, as you see here. As of now, everything is working perfectly, right? So let's find the problem first. So inspect this a table. And now you can see the problem. So let me, remove this debug point. Now you see, as of now we have only, 4 objects. The moment I click on this, load more customers, so you will see that all this tr will be deleted and recreated. So you will see when I click on this button, color of this, tr will be changed. I clicked on this, you can see this color got changed. Again I click, this color got changed. Again I click, this color got changed. So why this is happening? This is happening because Angular do not keep track of which item is added or which item is deleted. As of now, you see this 4 object, this 4 record we already have here in this array. In this array, I am adding only the 5th one. So why it is recreating whole, element? Because by default, Angular do not keep track of which item is added and which item is deleted. And this is where track by comes into the picture. So as of now, you see, let me refresh this page. Right click and inspect this element. You can see that as of now, I already have 4, records. I am adding only one, I am adding, only this one, only this, the 5th one. So why all these 4 tr is getting recreated? That shouldn't happen, right? As of now, we have only 4 records. Let's assume that this application is transactional. There is heavy traffic on this application. So what will happen? Performance of the application will be downgraded. And just remember that as of now, when I click on load more, it is getting only one record, right? Let's assume that when you click on the load more customer, each time you click, it brings 50 records and it appends here. Okay, you got it? It brings from the database or from the API call and it appends in this, array. So what will happen? Let's assume that this is 50. Again, if you click on the load more customers, it brings 50. Again, if you click, it brings 50. So what happens? Each time it deletes and recreates, it will degrade the performance. Let's say you have 1000, a TRTD. What will happen? Application, will shut down. This is where we use track by. Modified this code a bit more. So what I did, I created a new method called track by customer ID. You can give this name anything you want. And if you see this definition now, this, track by function takes index and the current item. Current item means this item. So each time this loop will be executed. This method track by this customer will accept this object. So first time when the loop executes, it will accept this item. Next time this, again this, and so on and so forth. I will debug the code and I will show you. If you see the definition, it takes index and the current item as an argument and needs to return a unique identifier. This method needs to return a unique value. So in this customer object, what is the unique value? This ID is the unique value. So whatever you see in the collection or in the object, you have unique value, you will return that. As of now, the name is also unique, so you can return that. So now that I have created a track by method, so how we can use it? So now come to app.component.html. So here in the for each loop, after putting the comma, I will simply use this track by, this is the keyword, and name of the method that I have created here in the component. So what will happen? Whenever this loop gets executed, by default it will get index. By default it gets index. We don't need to pass it, and it will take the customer object. Let me run this application, and I will show you by debugging the code. So make sure all the files are changes and come to browser. Here you can see that we already have 4 records that is coming from the constructor. So let me debug this code. So let me put a debug point here and a debug point here also. Let me click on the load more customers button. When I click on this method got called. Let me execute this. Now you can see that debug point came here by default, and it is getting the first object. You see 1001 John. So if you see here in the second parameter, I am getting 001 male and John, that is here 001 male John. When again I press this button, the next record will come, that is 1002 female and the Srija. Again if I execute this program, you can see that the third record is coming, and from here I am returning this unique ID. Remember, it has to be unique. One more point I would like to address, that this index is not mandatory. Even if I remove this one, it will work as it is. So this is not mandatory, this is optional. Let me prove how it improves the performance. Let me remove this, a debugger, and run this application. Remove all the debug point. Inspect this, a table. Collapse all the TR so that you can easily see what is happening there. The moment I click on this load customers, remember, the moment I click on this load more customers, you will see that only one TR is added here. So I click on this, you see only one record get added. Let me again refresh this page. Again I click on this, you see only one record is getting added. Let me refresh this page again. Click and you can see only one record is getting added. Now let me without refreshing. Now without refreshing, click on this button. You can see that nothing is happening as of now. Why nothing is happening? Because I am using track by. If I remove this track by, you will see that all the a TR element will be deleted and recreated as it was happening before. Let me remove this track by. Save the changes, and from here also remove this track by. Now you will be able to see that all the TR is getting deleted and recreated, as you can see here. So this is the benefit of using track by. Now let me remove this index and see whether it is working or not. So I remove this index, save the changes, and flip to browser. Click on this a load more button, and you can see that we are able to see only one TR is getting created, not all of them. Again refresh it, click on it, and you can see here only one is getting created. Now you can see that even if I remove that index, we are able to see expected result. Now if you come back to this definition, it will be easier for you to understand. It is saying track by helps Angular to track which item are added or removed. Track by function takes an index and the current item as an argument and needs to return a unique identifier from this item. I hope this session was useful. If you really like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.